Hello, everybody. This is Melinda Russell with Let's Talk Racing Live. And I'm here in my office in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I had to clean off my desk because I've actually been crafting because Christmas is coming and I like to make things for people that I give gifts to. I think that's a nice thing to do. And I have my stuff all set up. And so I've been making all kinds of racing things and signs and all kinds of fun stuff. So I had to put all that away and put my um, Women's Motorsports Network hat on instead of my crafting hat and to do our show tonight. And I'm happy to say that we have someone new with us that I'm going to learn about too, because I'm just now meeting Skyler Putt. Is it Putt or Put?
Yeah, it's
Putt. It's
Yeah.
like you're going to putt the golf ball.
Yeah,
right?
it's like golf. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so if you notice, you might notice that it says Skyler Track, and we had a little confusion because of an email and how it comes through. So her name is Skyler Putt, and we're going to get that straightened out so everybody can follow you on Facebook and everything, Skyler. But I want to welcome you to the show. And first of all, why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you live, how old you are, anything you want to share about yourself, your family, your pets, that kind of thing.
I'm from Elma, Washington. I'm a junior in high school. I have 2 dogs and a cat. They're a lot. And then my mom, my dad, my sister. My dad's the one that mainly works on the race cars. He's awesome. I'm in band through my high school. I do marching, pep, concert, band. It's very fun. That's about me.
Yeah. I was in the band when I was in high school, which was many years ago, Skyler, but I was actually the assistant director for 2 years, my junior and senior year. And that's the part I loved. It was way better than playing drums because I played drums. And during marching season, I had a huge bruise on my leg the whole time from the snare drum hitting my leg. So being the director was way more fun than actually playing the drums. But band is fun. And you know what? It's something that'll stay with you with music throughout your whole life. So that's a good thing. I like hearing that you're involved in band. So Skyler, you're 16. When did you start racing and how did you get started?
I started when I was 9 years old. A guy in a hardware store came up to us and was like, "How old are your kids?" Which was really creepy at the time. And he told us about the I-5 Quarter Midget Club, which is quarter midget racing, and he told us about a quarter midget day, and we went there, and I went like 3 times in a row going around the track, and I just loved it so much. My dad let me start at 9.
Okay. So that's how my granddaughters got started, and they went to a try and ride and went home with 2 quarter midgets. So my daughter,
what we did.
Yeah, my daughter was kind of like, "What happened? I can't let you go anywhere by yourself, But that's how they started when they were probably 6 and 8 or somewhere in that neighborhood. So that's a good way to get started. And how many years did you race in your quarter midget?
Since then, this last year was pretty much my last year. I'm just going to do fun stuff until I can't anymore.
Okay.
I started racing cage karts this year with the Pacific Wing Outlaws in Rainier, Washington. And that's been really, really fun racing with them.
Okay, so you're more interested in right now, because you've got a lot going on in school and everything, about having fun and not necessarily concentrating on a career in motorsports. Would that be correct?
It'd be fun to do that, but it's,
yeah. If it happens, that would be great. But until then, you're going to run cage karts and have a good time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you always race at the same track?
Mostly, we'll go to places in Monroe, Graham. There's Alpenrose, Portland that we used to go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mostly right around your area for sure. And what's the race season like in Washington? Like, when does it start? And when does it end? Because every part of the country is different.
Yeah. We used to start in May. It's been moved to June because it started to rain throughout May. And this last year we had to cancel and move 2 races because it was still raining in June, which was weird.
Yeah.
And so we didn't stop until about early September is
Okay.
when it was over.
All right. So a little bit shorter season than a lot of places, but just because
Yeah.
of your climate and there is rain
Yeah.
up in the Northwest. So you have to battle that. We get a lot of rain in the Midwest too. Seems like it's nice during the week, and then Friday or Saturday comes and the rain hits. But that's just how it goes, and you have to live with it for sure. So what's your most favorite thing about driving a race car?
Winning. That's fun. Going
And you've
fast.
done that a lot.
Yeah, I have a bunch of winners jackets around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things. Yeah.
Yeah. And I posted the picture today of you with all those trophies.
Oh, yeah.
That was in the the notice that you were going to be on the show. And so I didn't count the trophies, but there was a lot of them.
Yeah, I stopped counting like 2 years ago because
Yeah.
there's too
And
many to count.
do you keep them all? You have all of them somewhere?
Yeah, we have like this little area of our kitchen dining room area we never put anything there. And so it became like the trophy wall.
Okay.
So it's full of
All right.
trophies.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. So my friend Tina Lewis, she lives not far from me. Her daughter Camille races, and she wants to know, do you race on dirt or asphalt?
I race on dirt mainly.
Okay.
Both cage car and quarter midgets, it's dirt.
Okay. So see where we live, where Tina lives and she lives, like I said, maybe a half hour from me. It's pavement. It's asphalt. We don't really have any dirt tracks. Like the quarter midget track that's right next to the Kalamazoo Speedway is asphalt as well. And so my granddaughters and Camille, they all race asphalt. So I like hearing that quarter midgets are on dirt because that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're the I-5 quarter midget track is the only dirt track in the region, actually.
Really?
Everything else is asphalt. Yeah.
Okay. So you've had to race both if you want to go somewhere other than that track. So, which do you prefer, dirt or asphalt?
I prefer dirt.
Yeah, I figured you were
Definitely
going to
dirt.
say that. It's funny. When I first got involved in racing and watched racing, again, there were no dirt tracks around. And so asphalt was all I really knew. And the more that I've gotten involved and gone to dirt races and watched dirt races, it gets in your blood. I like the dirt too. I like to watch it. But I can go to a racetrack 15 minutes from my house and it's asphalt. So that's easy. So that's what we do. But it's nice to have that option. And do the cars drive a lot different from dirt to asphalt? And what do you have to do to change? Like if you were going to race dirt today and then go race asphalt tomorrow, what do you have to do to your cart to change it?
That's my dad answer. He does most of that. Changing tires. I know an axle thing. I think.
Okay.
That's my dad.
Yeah. So your dad takes care of all that for you. How often do you race? Do you race pretty much every weekend?
If I could, I would. We have 8 races during a season for quarter midgets, and then this last year we had 5 races for cage carts, and then I'm racing this weekend actually with cage carts in Elma. So.
Okay. All right. So it's getting late. It's December, and you're going to be racing.
Yeah, there's a
indoor.
They make a little indoor track. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. There's some indoor tracks. They do a little bit of indoor racing around here, not a lot, but I know a lot of places do. So that's good. You can kind of keep your hand in the racing deal even in the winter. So will you race more than this race this winter, or is this it?
There's a quarter midget race in January. It's a Winter Blast race. It's a specialty.
Okay.
That we do every year. It's also indoor.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because you could have a lot of snow, like Michigan gets.
It's been snowing all week.
Oh well, great. You're probably sending it over because it's supposed to snow here tomorrow. So we're gonna blame you. You're probably sending it to Michigan.
Okay.
So Skylar, before we came on the air, we were talking a little bit. You were telling me about that you go to school, high school, you're in high school, you're a junior. You
Hmm.
take two classes at the high school, and then you take college classes. That's interesting for me, and I'd like you to share a little bit of that, because I'm all about getting your education, having a plan B if you're not going to, maybe pursue racing as a full time job. What else do you like to do? So, why don't you talk a little bit about, what you do at school and what kind of classes you're taking, and then what's your goal? What do you want to do when you get out of high school and go to college? What are you going to focus on?
I take band, and then I take Spanish 2 at the high school, so pretty easy classes. And then I do 3 college classes during a quarter, and this quarter was English 101, math, and economics, which just did the finals for. So happy that's done. Um, and then after I'm gonna graduate with my AA from high school. And after that, I want to go to college and hopefully get a doctorate in psychology, clinical psychology.
Okay.
That's what I want to do.
Okay. So tell me what does a clinical psychologist do? Do they work in a hospital or a facility? What is different? Because I know there's lots of different kinds of psychologists. What is that kind? What do they do?
They can write prescriptions. Basically, they're a normal psychologist, psychiatrist. They have the ability to write prescriptions, and I can work in mental institutes, anything really. I could open up my own practice if I wanted to. It's a
Okay.
pretty broad uh, style of psychology, I guess
Okay.
you could say.
All right. And so, how did you get interested in that? Because that's a long way from racing.
I watch a lot of shows and movies, and there's always like stuff like mental health stuff in them, and then it's just I got drawn to it, I guess,
Okay.
and it's just been an interest that I want to pursue.
Well, that's a good interest because, as we know, the mental health issues and problems and solving all that is really in the news a lot. I mean, we hear a lot about it. We've kind of brushed it under the rug, I think, some in the past years, and so now, people didn't want to share that they were having. And I hate to say, they're having mental problems because that makes them sound like they're crazy or something. They're just having life issues, and sometimes you just need to have somebody that you can talk to that's not a family member, that can be a little bit more unbiased about things. And so I'm all about going to talk to somebody if you need to. So I love that that's your passion and that's what you want to do because you want to help people. So good for you, Skylar. And that's a lot of years of school, but it sounds
Yeah,
like
it
you're on
is.
your way. You're on your way,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so Adrian Adrian Putt. Do you know who that is?
It's my mom.
She wants to know what's your favorite race memory.
Oh, the my first ever mudslinger shootout, which is one of our specialty races at the I-5 Quarter Midget Club. I I won, which was really cool. It's it's I think I've won one other time for that. It's not like I don't win it a lot, but that was like my one time that I won. And then the next weekend we did a region race, which is another specialty race, and I was in first place for every single lap. And then on one restart, the flagger screwed up and made us go when we shouldn't have. So there's a car that was like right here, even though he was supposed to be behind me in the lineup. And so
Oh,
I didn't lose, but I got
oh,
second place instead of first. So
that's
that was
kind of a
fun.
bummer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be happy with the flagger. They need a new flagger if that's the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, his son was mad at him too, and he came and apologized to me.
Oh,
So
yes, as well he should
but
have for sure.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah. So that was one of your many trophies that you won. So in the cage carts, what class or what kind of a cart do you run? I know they
I
have
run a
different kinds.
yeah, I run a 450 cage cart,
Okay.
which the 450s run with the 500s and the 250s run with the 500s. It's all one big group.
Okay.
They're hoping to next year hopefully split it if they get enough 250s, 125s, and all that.
Okay.
But we pretty much all race together.
Okay. Because normally I have a co-host, but he's taken a few weeks off. He changed jobs and things. Brett Timmerman, his daughter runs carts, and so if he was on here, he'd be asking all kinds of questions because he knows what to ask, because he knows way more about that than I do. So if I don't ask something that you need to share, then you just jump right in and share it with us. So you said your dad helps with the cart. How about your mom? What does she do? She's obviously listening. So what's your mom's role in your racing career?
She's great emotional support.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
she used to buckle me in for quarter midgets, but I've done that myself for the last few years.
Yeah.
But she's mostly always there, and it's nice to have her all the time.
And then you said you had a sister. Is she younger or older?
She's younger. She's 9.
Okay, yeah. So is she interested in racing or not?
She's been racing quarter midgets since she was 5, 4.5, 5. She's just this year though, she's really gotten into it, and she got season champion for the first time. And yeah,
she's and what is her name? Let's give her a shout out.
Her name is Samantha Putt.
Samantha Putt. So Samantha, congratulations on your championship. And you better look out, Skyler, because it won't be long she'll be able to race against you, right?
Yeah, she's already almost taller than me, so I think she's just going to outbeat me on everything.
Oh, gosh. Well, that'll be fun, though, to do that. So when you're racing, are there very many other girls that are there, or are you kind of the lone girl?
The quarter midget track, there's tons of girls. It's pretty even. The cage cart track, there's one other girl. Okay. It's mostly dudes.
Okay. And are they, is that the class where, they're more adults? I mean, it can be adults racing. Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's mostly adults. There's 4 of us, I think, that are like around my age, and then the rest are adults.
Yeah, that have probably been doing it a long time, some of them.
Yeah. They've been racing a long time.
Yeah. So have you been successful in the cage carts? And if so, how do those old time racers take that?
I beat, this is one guy at the Pacific Wing with the Pacific Wing Outlaws. His name's Will, and he helps us out with the cage cart a lot because it's our first year. So he was helping us throughout everything. And then we did qualifying, and I beat him for qualifying time. And he came up to us afterwards, and he's like, "I'm not helping you guys anymore." And he walked off. But yeah. That's
well, but really, a lot of times at the racetrack, everybody will help each other if they need to. Yeah. And then you get on the track and it's like, I'm not going to help you now, but that's pretty much how it goes. So is there anything that drivers do on or off the track that annoys you?
I haven't noticed anything at the cage carts or even really quarter midgets. One thing I dislike is the boasting, I guess, overly boasting about like a win or whatever place they got, or that's when they do it all the time. That gets a little annoying, but every now and then it's fine.
Being humble is something that is learned, I think, at times, especially depending on how you've grown up, and how your household does that, and so. I don't care for that either. And I especially don't care for it if it's on Facebook and all over the place. It's one thing to be proud of what you do. There's nothing wrong with that. You do need to be proud of what you do and your accomplishments. And there's nothing wrong with sharing it with your fans and that, but sometimes it can go a little overboard. So I get that. So who runs your Skyler Racing page?
Mainly my mom and my dad.
Okay.
They do all of that. I'm not a big Facebook person.
Okay. Are you on Instagram or what do you do?
I'm not a big
You're not
person
a social
on
media
all of that.
person?
I'm not a social media person. Yeah.
Really?
I've tried. It's not something I do a lot.
It's just not something that interests you.
No, not really.
Yeah. Well, that's unusual for your age, but good for you because it can be it's great. That's how I meet a lot of people. I don't have really issues like a lot of people have. with it. Most of my experiences, I would say 99% of my experiences are good because I try to stay positive, and that's how I find new and young drivers like you. But that's good. I'm glad to hear that. You have other things going on. You've got a lot of college to learn and everything. So Skyler Racing says you got fifth in points out of 14 cars this year in the cage karts.
Yep.
And that was your rookie season.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Yeah, I was really happy with that placing.
Yeah, I would think so. That's really good. So Roy Dodd said he's never heard of a cage kart. So you want to explain what a cage kart is?
If you've heard of a quarter midgets, they're like slightly bigger than that, and they have like 450cc motors, 500s, 250s, 125s, and it's on the side of the car instead of behind or in front, and it's has a wing on top, and kind of looks like a sprint car, but not really. It's like a little like compact one.
Yeah. It kind of looks. I call it. It looks more like maybe like a mini sprint a little bit,
No.
and a quarter midget combined.
Yeah.
It's kind of a mixture of the two, if I had to describe it. Yeah, for sure. And on dirt is a really fun way to race those cars. That's how I've seen them when I've gone to. Have you ever heard of? Oh gosh, it just English Creek
I haven't.
in Iowa. Okay, well you need to put that on your bucket list. So English Creek is near Knoxville, Iowa, and when the sprint cars have the National Sprint Car Championship going on in August, English Creek is the first one, and if it's on, I think Monday and Tuesday, and they have what they call nationals, and they'll be. Last year they had over 200 carts, cage carts, just every age, every kind of thing you can imagine from everywhere across the country. It's a really big deal. And then that's Monday, Tuesday. Then I think Wednesday, Thursday, they go a few miles away from there into Illinois. I want to say Kelowna or somewhere Illinois, and they do the same thing again. A lot of them go to all these. And then on Friday, Saturday, there's another track near Kelowna. So you've got 3 sets of, they all call them nationals, I think. But it's if you know you're going to come and you can race all week, that's a pretty fun thing to do. So you should check that out. English Creek is the name of the speedway. So I think you'd really have a lot of fun going there for sure. Yeah. So if you have a bad day at the track, how do you handle that?
My mom.
Your mom?
When she's there, I mainly just stick with her.
She talks you down off the wall?
Pretty much.
So you seem pretty laid back. Do you get upset easily or not?
Not easily. It's mainly like if I'm purposely hit or spun out and then I get called for it or something like that, then I get a little annoyed. But not usually. Like if I lose, I lose. It's fine.
Okay. That's kind of, I'm getting that impression of your personality just from talking with you, that you seem to be pretty laid back about that, but serious about it, but yet not so serious that it consumes your life. Yeah, for sure. So what do you think it takes to be successful? You've got a lot of trophies, and you were successful pretty quickly. Was it just the passion you have for it? Did you have a good teacher that taught you what to do? How do you think you became so successful in these races?
My dad probably. He's very comforting, and then he's like you can do it kind of person. Mm-hmm. He's very just be confident. That's how he is.
Okay.
And he's never like upset or anything if you lose or any. He's just like okay. He's very calm.
How lucky you are. I don't think you realize, because I've seen some parents that are off the wall when their kids are racing, and it's like, where's the fun in that when you're yelling at your kid, and it's first of all, he's not winning any money or any sometimes it's not even a trophy. There's nothing that you're going to take home with you, and so why are you screaming at your kid that's 6, 7, 8 years old or even older? I don't I don't get that, but I'm glad you had the right kind of role model, and that's why you have the attitude you have too about racing. Tina Stewart says, "Do you have a good luck charm in your car or something that you have each race day?"
No. I'm not a big good luck charm person. I don't,
Okay.
but
Okay.
never really thought about doing that.
All right. Some people have, a certain thing that they wear or something they put in their car. So that was a good question, Tina. Thank you. Um, so, do you have any fan experiences? Like, do you get a lot of fans that come to the races? And if so, is there a Skyler Putt fan club?
A lot of my dad's friends will come down, or family members will come down. I don't really get fans, I guess you could say. There's a lot of little boys that race the racetrack that come and talk to me a lot, but
Okay.
but they're just excited, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, because and if you're the only one of the few girls that race, I would think that maybe even some little girls are probably watching you to see what you're up to and if their brothers are racing or something. So, Skylar Racing says that you have some lucky dirt.
Oh yeah, I refuse to clean my car sometimes.
Okay.
Because like if we go to an asphalt track, my dad's always says you have to clean it because everyone cleans their car for an asphalt track. But I like to keep it dirty so they know I'm from dirt.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's okay. That's a cool thing to do. I like that. So who inspires you both with racing and without? Do you have anybody that really, like, the things you're doing in college and where you want to go and be and everything? Who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
probably my dad.
Okay.
He's really he went to college and got an AA for for mechanics. He's a mechanic now. He's a manager at a body shop, and that's just what he does. And
Uh-huh.
like no one else in in my immediate family has gone to college,
Okay.
but he has technically.
Yeah.
So just want to kind of follow him a bit.
Yeah. Good. That's good. So during the off season, what do you do during the off season? So you're going to race a little bit, but and of course you have school, but is there anything else that you like to do when you're not, involved in racing that much? What do you like to do in your off time?
My off time, I do a lot of band actually from school
Okay.
because I'm in marching. Because our band class is marching, pep, and concert. We're
Hmm.
constantly busy. Like pep season just started, so we're gonna be two times a week. We're at basketball games
Right.
for varsity, and it's like one of the funnest things I do.
Yeah.
I love pep band so much.
Oh yeah. And what I remember about pep band is it just gets the crowd excited and it just all the noise and everything. And it's just, you're right. It's way more fun than concert band.
Oh yeah, definitely. Way
Even the
more fun.
music, even the music
Yep.
is more fun than concert band. Yeah. So, oh, I'm sorry. I lost my place here. I got some questions to ask you. So, as the girl racing against mostly guys, have you had any issues with them intentionally wrecking you or saying things to you because you're a girl? Or most of the time, are they pretty welcoming and accepting of you being there?
Most of the time, they're very welcoming and accepting. I've never noticed anybody purposely doing it because I'm a girl or
Okay.
saying things because I'm a girl, which is really nice. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's gotten so much better over the last several years. Somebody went to. I think it's gotten so much better over the last few years. When women started racing, years and years ago, they weren't accepted at all, and they were crashed and harassed and whatever. But now it seems almost the norm that there's women at the racetrack and racing, and so I think that has really deteriorated that kind of behavior. Tina Lewis said, "Do you have a favorite driver professionally or at your local track?"
Um, There's a girl. I have her her old quarter midget. Her name's Ariel Biggs. She used to race for Toyota, I believe. Um, she's she's a big inspiration. She had me come to like a women's engineering like seminar thing a few years ago, and that was really great. And she introduced me to people, and she's an inspiration for sure.
Okay. And is she still racing?
I'm not. I don't think she is right now.
Okay.
But
All right. So that's, and what's interesting about that is we always hear that if young girls can't see themselves in somebody older doing something, they can't imagine it. So, for instance, she's racing, she's involved in engineering, etc. Had you not met somebody like that or seen somebody like that, that might not have been something you would have ever thought about. But now that you've been introduced, oh, a woman can be an engineer. Oh, a woman can drive a race car. So, you want to present to the younger generation, because you're 16 and to them, you're older. You want to present to that younger generation, these are the things that you can do. You just have to work hard, put your mind to it. And so, what kind of advice would you give to maybe a young girl who's thinking about getting involved in, let's say, quarter midgets? Because that's a good place to start.
It's a lot more welcoming than it seems. That's because when I first went to training for it, it was mainly dudes, and it was very overwhelming because there was I think one other girl that I trained with that was my age.
Okay.
So
yeah. So ignore the fact that there's mostly guys and just give it a try and see how you like it and go from there. Yeah. Okay. So do you think you've had any benefits because you've been a girl? Has there been any extra, attention at the track, at the races or anything? Or do they just treat you just like any other guy racer?
It's mostly treating me like any other person, which I prefer.
Right.
Just being treated the same as everyone else.
Okay. So I'm guessing you've had some broken bones based on this question. So have you ever broken any bones in racing due to a wreck?
I broke my wrist my very first race. I was slammed into a wall. And then I raced the very next day because we didn't know it was broken. So that hurt.
And you were like 6 years old? No, 9 years old?
I was 9.
9 years old.
Yeah. So I broke it first race. Next day I raced, and then the day after that was when we figured out something was wrong. We should probably get that looked at.
So is the reason you broke it because you didn't let go of the steering wheel?
Yep, that's exactly why.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So my son, when he got out of high school, he bought a race car with his graduation money. Do not do that. Do not do that. Because that will make your parents angry, it made us angry. But he bought a race car with his graduation money, and his very first race, he did the same thing. And some guy shoved him in the wall because here's this 18-year-old kid coming with a really cool looking car, and he was going to race against these old geezers. And the guy was known to be one of those kind of guys at that track. And he ran into the wall, and he did not know that you should let go of the steering wheel. And he broke his wrist, and he had it casted. It was broken pretty badly. And he had it casted, and he left it on for a week. And then he took some kind of a saw in the shop, and they sawed the cast off. And he raced, with it broken probably for pretty much of the time. So is that the only thing you've broken?
It's the only broken bone. I've had a concussion, I've had whiplash, and then I severely sprained the ligament in my thumb. I couldn't move it for like a month. It was
okay.
Yeah.
And have you ever rolled or flipped or anything like that?
I've never rolled or flipped. My sister has. She beat me out on that one. And I've had someone flip over the top of me, though. That's where I got my concussion, because their tire went through my roll cage and hit me in the back of the head.
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, I bet that did hurt for sure. Ooh, gosh. So when you first went to that try and ride and you did 3 laps or however many they let you do. Did you see yourself? I mean, I know you were only 9, but that's older than like a 5-year-old. Did you be like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do? This is really it. I don't care about any of that other stuff. I just want to race. What was
Yeah, that was definitely it because I've tried every sport that our school has ever offered and I've never stuck with it. And then racing was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm not gonna stop this.
yeah,
I'm sticking with this one.
yeah. I think when you get exposed to whatever sport it might be, and you know that, oh yeah, this is the one. And so it took you a little while to find it, but racing's the one. And the nice thing is, honestly, you can do it the rest of your life, really.
Yeah.
You're not going to play basketball the rest of your life, probably, or guys play football or whatever. But racing and golf are probably 2 that I can think of that you can do the rest of your life. So that's good. And do you think racing is a good sport for girls to get involved in?
Yeah, of course. Any sport's good, really.
And
I
so
think, yeah.
why rate? What's good about racing? What do you like about being involved in the racing community?
You get to compete against guys, unlike pretty much every other sport. It's always separated by gender, but
Hmm.
racing is like the one where you can just do it. You don't have. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter what your gender is.
exactly. That's for sure. Hmm. That's a good answer. Um, I like that when you put the helmet on and you race and then you get to the finish line and you've won and you take that helmet off and people be like, "Oh, it's a girl," and they had no idea. Because Skyler could be a guy's name. I know a
Yeah,
Skyler, that's a guy. So your name doesn't give it away, and I don't know what color your car is, but it doesn't really matter. That doesn't give it away, and so I love when that happens because I've seen a crowd's reaction when a girl has won, a woman has won. She pulls into victory lane, and you can just hear it go through the crowd. Oh, it's a woman. So that's kind of fun. I don't know if they think we're just out there to look pretty or what, but we're out there to win, aren't we, Skylar?
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So you're 16. You're close to being an adult. What kind of an impact do you think you're going to make or hope to make in motorsports?
Just to mainly show little girls that hey, I can do it. You can do it. They don't. It's not as hard as it looks. Just,
Right, right. And you
yeah,
should give it a try for sure.
yeah.
So, because you've been involved in racing, now I know you're involved in band, so that keeps you involved at school with all your friends. But have you ever felt like you didn't fit in because you're involved in racing?
Before band, like before I really got into band, so high school band has been the point where I've like felt like I fit in.
Okay,
Before that, not really. There was never anything that drew me into a certain group
okay.
or made me feel like
Because
I was part of it.
that's a very common response because I hear that's one reason I asked that question is because a lot of times, especially if you start at a really young age and you don't play softball or any of those other sports that girls are typically getting started in younger grades. I have had several people tell me that they did not feel like they were part of the group at school. They didn't have a lot of friends. They were kind of a loner because every weekend, while those kids were doing whatever, she was at the racetrack. And so that's why I asked that because people don't think about that. But being in high school band, that kind of brought you camaraderie with your classmates.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, for sure. And what do you play in the band? I didn't ask you that.
I play flute for concert band, and then I play piccolo for marching and pep.
Oh, so the piccolo, that's the John Philip Sousa song that has all the piccolo, right?
I think so.
Yeah, don't well, you have to look it up. I can't think what the name of it is. It escapes me, but I think there's a lot of piccolo in it's like a battle song or one of
Oh
those.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah. So Have you ever played that song? Do you know?
We have not, unfortunately. We definitely
Okay,
should though.
you should ask your band director to put that on the schedule, because that I think that'd be a fun one for you to do for sure. So, Skylar, what else have you done? What else do you want to share about yourself that I haven't asked you?
Uh, hmm. Uh, I listen. I listen to a lot of music because of band.
Okay.
I listen to soundtrack music, a lot of metal music. Got a Slipknot shirt and everything.
Yeah.
I like watching live bands a lot. Whether it
Okay.
be like just a random school band or bands like Slipknot live, like just live anything.
Yeah. There's nothing better than a live concert of any kind,
Yeah,
really. I
yeah,
mean, it's no different than watching a race on TV and being at the race, or watching football on TV and being at the game. It's
yep.
the atmosphere and the sights and the sounds and the smells and everything that go with it. So, Tina wants to know, have your friends ever gone to watch you race? Your band friends?
Not my band friends. I've had a few like just like random people that I've known from school that have come down and said hi and stuff, but
Okay.
my band friends have not
Okay.
yet. I'll
Maybe they'll
talk them
have to
into
do.
it.
Yeah, you know what they should do? They should come and play the national anthem or something at the
Yeah,
track.
they should.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I'll talk to them. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great thing for them to do. That would get both your racing and your band kind of intertwined, so that would be fun. So I've got just some little quick questions, little quick short answers, um, like things that are your favorite. So what's your favorite food?
I really like oranges.
Oh,
Yeah.
nutritious too.
Mhm.
Favorite color?
Purple.
Favorite restaurant?
El Serape. So
Mexican.
Mexican. Yeah.
Favorite animal?
I really like cats. They're
Okay.
definitely my favorite.
Favorite place you would like to go on vacation?
Hawaii.
Oh, me too. I want to go there. Favorite candy?
Twix.
All right. Do you have a favorite book or book series?
I don't read a lot.
Okay.
I'm more of a comics person, like graphic novels, I guess. So like
Okay.
the Umbrella Academy before it was a show. I read the graphic novels for it.
Okay. How about your favorite kind of music?
Metal.
Okay.
Definitely metal. Yeah.
Favorite group?
I listen. I listen to Ice Nine Kills the most. I actually get to see them next week live, so that's gonna be
Oh, that sounds
really
fun.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Yeah, it's coming quick, isn't it? Do you watch
Yes.
much TV?
Yeah, I do. I watch a lot of TV
Okay.
and a
What's
lot
your
of
favorite
movies.
TV show?
Moon Knight. It's a Marvel TV show that
Okay.
came out this year.
All right. What's your favorite thing to celebrate?
My birthday.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And when is your birthday? Is it coming up?
June 21st. So
Okay, so
it's
about halfway there.
yeah.
Halfway there for sure. And have you what's the favorite show you binge watched?
I binge watched Criminal Minds,
Oh yeah.
which was really good.
That's a good show. And that kind of ties in a little bit with your career path, because there's a lot
Yeah.
of psycho people on those shows that
Yeah,
they're
I
trying to
think
analyze.
that's the show that definitely got me more into it than
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah, that's a good one. I watch that. I tape it and then I watch it. So awesome. So Tina says, great answers. Skylar, you've been a really fun interview. I like that you're not in social media, in the respect that you're going to be a much more well-rounded person than all these kids that are like this all the time. So good for you. And how can my listeners follow you? Either like you've got a Skylar Racing page, so they could go there, I assume. How can they follow where you're going to be, what your results are? Does your mom and dad post that stuff on Skylar Racing?
Yeah, they post that stuff on Skyler Racing. I have a Facebook account. It's under
Okay.
Skyler Putt. I don't post anything on there. It's just stuff gets shared through through me. But
Okay.
Skyler Racing is definitely the place to go.
Okay. And it's on Facebook, not Instagram or anything. So
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook, Facebook, Skyler Racing. Mom is Adrian. Is that
Yep.
your mom? Mom, did I
Yep.
say it right? So,
Yep.
Adrian, thanks for sharing about Skylar on Facebook so we can follow her and see what she's up to. Because once we have you on the show, something that Brett always says at the end of the show, now I have to do it because he's not here, is that once you're on the show, you know, the Women's Motorsports Network is like a family. And so once you're on the show, you're part of our family. So he always says at the end, welcome to the family.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Skyler, any last words that you want to share at all?
I-5 quarter midget track is great, and so are the Pacific Wing Outlaws. You should check
Okay.
both of them out.
Check both of them out, and I'll write those down, and I will check them out. And I like to check, and I like to see the standings. That's where I go and look for names of girls. Sometimes if I'm, looking at a new track or whatever, that kind of gets me motivated to see what's going on there. And your mom said, thank you for sharing, Skyler. And I appreciate that too. Sometimes when you're younger, you don't really know what to say or, what to share in that. But you've been a good interview. You've had good answers to the questions. You've had good conversation. Ginny Jones, do you know Ginny Jones?
That's my grandma.
Okay, she said great interview. So Jenny, Grandma, thank you for listening. And Skyler, thank you again. And I'll be watching to see how you do. If you hashtag Women's Motorsports Network when you post things, then I'll see them. And so that way it's easier for me to keep up because I have so many people that I'm following. So if you do that, then I can keep up with you.
Okay.
Tina Lewis says, wonderful interview. Keep kicking butt. Tina's a great gal. So, all right, Skyler. Well, you have a good evening, and I'll be watching for you. And if there's anything ever we can do to help you, you let us know.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Oh, that was a great interview. Every girl I interview, you would think that a lot of the interviews would be the same, but they're not. Skyler lives in Washington. She runs cage karts. She loves doing it, but I think she's more serious about her career and her school, which I love to see. She's having fun while she's doing it. She doesn't get very upset about things. And so there's just so many good things that are about Skyler that are different maybe from somebody we've had on before. So all these girls are different, but the one thing that's the same is they all love motorsports of some kind or another. And so that's why we have them on our show. That's why Women's Motorsports Network is here. We do this live show on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It airs on Women's Motorsports Network Facebook page. It airs on Racing Girls Rock YouTube page, and it also airs on the Let's Talk Racing Live fan page. So all of those places, anybody that's watching any of those, we're going to get to see this. We typically share the link for this podcast, and that's when the numbers go up because 7 o'clock Eastern isn't always convenient for people, but we get a lot of listens throughout the week after we share the link. So I'll be doing that probably later tonight or in the morning. So watch for that and be sure and share it for us so that we can get Skyler's story out there and more people know who she is and can follow her for sure. So just a little bit of news. I think we're going to do the next week, let's see, this is the 7th. We're going to take the rest of December off, the 14th, 21st, and 28th. Obviously, Christmas is in there. My birthday's in there. And we've got a lot of things happening right here in our family and everything. So we just decided we're going to take the rest of December off. I've got some new things that we're going to be doing starting the first of the year. And if you follow our Facebook page, you'll know. And then when we have our first show in January, we'll be letting you know about the different things that we're going to try to do. I do want to share something that's exciting for me, a couple things actually. So the National Motorsports Press Association, it's called the NMPA. And it's an organization that a lot of the announcers from Motorsports Racing Network, MRN, PRN, NASCAR, NBC, Fox, all kinds of big network news people, motorsports people, racetrack people, all kinds. There's about, I think, 250 some members. But I did apply to be a member of that association, and I was accepted as a member, which was exciting for me. So that's kind of fun to share. And then the same week that that happened, and I wasn't able to actually announce it till today, but I received a call that I've been awarded the media award for the Michigan Automobile Racing Fan Club. That's a new club to me. I wasn't aware of them. I'm not sure who nominated me. I think I know, but I'm not 100% sure. But I was nominated to win the media award, which is one of two awards that they give at their banquet. And so January 21st, I'll be headed to north of Detroit, and I'll be receiving an award that night, which is really exciting. It's nice to know that people appreciate what I've been doing. I love women in motorsports. I always say I like the guys too, don't get me wrong, but I'm all about the women. The guys naturally get notice, and they get, talked about a lot. Sometimes the women are in the background and we don't hear about them. And I've met so many wonderful women, girls, moms, dads through the Women's Motorsports Network, and it's just been amazing how it's changed my life. I feel like I have thousands, hundreds, and more friends that I've made through motorsports, and I would have never met them. Just like Skyler, I would have never met them had it not been for the Women's Motorsports Network. So I appreciate all the support that I get from people. 2022's been a rather stressful year for us with our house build and moving and everything, but we're looking forward to 2023. I'm hoping to do some more traveling, to attend some more races at other tracks. We're hoping to work with NASCAR to get some more events back on the schedule like they were back in 2020 before COVID stopped everything. And so there's a lot coming down the pike for Women's Motorsports Network. We keep growing. We've got almost 10,000 followers on Facebook, and those are organic. Those are not purchased names. Those are people like Skyler and her parents, who somebody said, hey, follow Women's Motorsports Network, and then they like our page. And then somebody sees that, and then they like that, or they see where Skyler posted something about us. And so it's all about you sharing what we're doing and you sharing where we are. And so I really appreciate, more than I can even explain, the support I've gotten, the friendships I've gotten. I'm going to read you what Tina said. Tina's my friend, but I'm still, she might be a little prejudiced, but she says, you have brought a new light to the young ladies of racing. We all appreciate all you've done and continue to do for women in motorsports. Thank you, Tina. That means a lot, especially coming from a former racer, the mom of a racer, and I really appreciate it. So this is going to be the last show of 2022. We will still be active on Facebook, Women's Motorsports Network. Follow us on Facebook, and we'll, stay, keep you in touch with what's happening. And January's coming soon. It won't be long. Only 3 Wednesdays left in December. And then we'll be looking at January. So I'll be another year older, and we'll be another, hopefully wiser, maybe. I'm not sure. But I'll see you in January. Have a very Merry Christmas. Be safe. If you're going to spend time with family, don't take it for granted. We need to spend as much time as we can with our families, because we never know what's going to happen. And so take advantage of that time and have a safe and happy new year. Write some goals down. I'm going to encourage you to find your word for 2023. What word is going to motivate you in 2023? and get some goals written down, and then let's all work to reach the goals. And mine are obviously going to be to promote women in motorsports. So Drive for Diabetes Awareness has been responding. Thank you. KC Bowen Racing, thank you for all you do. Looking forward to the next show. Thank you, Casey. And again, I appreciate everybody. Thank you for listening. Have a good holiday. We'll see you in 2023.